What's up? It is your boy Level here back with another live and level gamer podcast. What's up, people? Welcome to the show. Welcome. We all in your eardrum. We're here to do what we always do every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on the Dizot. Maybe a minute later or two every now and again. But we in this piece. What's up, folk?
What's happening?
Okay. Mr. Norris, that's you. I hear you. K-Bomb,
I'm standing on business, baby. Standing on business.
Standing on business.
We got Smash Bros.
Though. Man, what it do? Man, it's got cold out there, man. Winter is coming.
But we got Smash Bros.
Other than that, though, I'm good, man. I got my heater on right now, so I can enjoy this cold basis. But I'm good to go. I'm ready to get to this podcast.
Yeah, we up in this piece. So I need y'all to go ahead and start letting us know who you is. Share this with your friends. Put it on Twitter or X. Elon Musk, can we please get Twitter back? Can we just scratch the X and go back to Twitter? Nobody wants to say X. It feels gross and nasty and a little raunchy. I can't say X like that, man. I just don't feel right. But welcome to the show. Yeah! As y'all can see, it's been a while since I've been with you guys, and I can say I actually missed y'all this week. We haven't been chatting it up in the chat as much as we normally do. So how's everybody doing on tonight?
Man, I'm pretty good, man. Finally finished the game. We'll get into that. Finally finished the game that I've been trying to finish.
Okay.
I've been teaching my kids and stuff. We bought this game called Truth of Yah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a biblical game. You have to have a Bible and an Apocrypha to play it.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
And it's a lot of stuff.
Got the Catholic Bible.
I'm seeing y'all later. I've never seen it. They made their own little board game. And it's kind of like just going over stuff that you played before, but made it into a game. And it's something that me and my boys can sit down and do. So,
okay. Shouts out Miss Nee up in this joint early. She up in this piece. What's up?
But we got Smash Bros. Though.
K-Bum don't play Smash Bros, but got the nerves to have the best sample on the thing, and he don't even play the game. But anyway, what's up?
That I'm sorry. That was one of the few Nintendo games I did play. Don't do that.
Oh, I thought
when
you
I would
played
play Nintendo
Yu-Gi-Oh.
games.
I thought you just played Yu-Gi-Oh, man. That was PlayStation.
I didn't play no Yu-Gi-Oh on no Nintendo console. Why you want to talk?
You play All Stars.
I play Pokemon.
PlayStation All Stars. That's what you play.
I play Pokemon. I play Mario Kart, and I play Smash.
Let me say this, people. Nintendo. Before we even get in here, we're gonna stop this hypocrisy, this falsehood that is coming out of my guy's mouth. This dude did not play Smash Bros. Or Pokemon. This dude played Yu-Gi-Oh! And PlayStation All Stars. Let's tell the truth, K-Bum. Stop.
He said PlayStation All Stars.
Stop it, man. You confused it.
Kratos let me finish. Thanksgiving, Kratos, you are full of turkey and hate.
Kratos has never been in Smash Bros. And when you was playing with that character, it kind of resembles Smash. So you may have got that conflated and confused, but we just want to be honest and truthful to our audience. K-Bum, tell the truth. It was PlayStation All Stars, wasn't it?
I have never played that game.
He pleads the fifth, guys. He pleads the fifth.
I have. Okay, is my mic on? What is going on?
But welcome to the show, man. Yeah, I'm here with my people. Keith, where you get this from? Have you been listening to Perkins?
You haven't seen T.I. and his son got into it, King?
Oh, yeah. That's what Perkins was saying that for.
I'm standing on business. I know who you are.
Yeah, Kendrick Perkins kept saying that on ESPN First Take, and I was like, why does he keep saying? I forgot. I did see that. Man, look, that boy, that's T.I. them fault because he should have checked that boy a long time ago.
He tried.
Nah, he ain't tried hard enough. Nah, he could have checked him when he was a little younger. But anyway, we won't get into that. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the show. We got a lot to talk about today. Well, not a lot to talk about. Microsoft wants Game Pass everywhere. We got to talk about that. That is clear. We're getting owned, so let's just join everybody. And we kind of talked about this before. We kind of predicted this a ways back. We also going to talk about the top 5 worst controllers in gaming. Or ever in between the big 3, including Sega. Now I'm curious what these guys gonna say. I only have a few to add to this list, so I don't have 5 that I think are bad, but I got 2 or 3.
I got 5.
You got 5? Okay. One is the gamepad.
My fifth gonna make people mad.
Is the gamepad one of them?
Person, I ain't saying that. All I know is the fifth one but the first one I'm gonna call out at the bottom of my list is gonna make people mad. I already know.
So we're gonna see.
I'm gonna start off making people mad,
and then we're gonna also talk about what are you gaming on this holiday. So we're gonna talk about those 3 topics. So short, not a whole lot. Hopefully our comment section give us a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of interaction on tonight. You know, we got Nia here. Hopefully we get some more up in here and they really be, saying, keeping us company on tonight. But let me ask this real quick. Has any of you went and seen The Marvels?
No, I was going to go see it the week that it came out, but I kept hearing so many negative and mixed reviews. I was like, I don't know I think I'm gonna wait. Okay,
K-Bone, you Keith said he's waiting. He's bowing out. He's waiting to Disney Plus. What about you, bruh? What you going to see this?
I just got too much going on right now in my life to make time to go to the movie theater. It's not worth moving my schedule around to go see it.
It's not pressing, huh? It's not pressing.
It's not worth me moving my schedule just so I can go in there and see that movie.
Is it Brie Larson? Is it Brie?
No. It's not anything that interests me. I'm gonna see it eventually, but yeah. I'm not interested that much.
Yeah, we all gonna see it eventually because it got to come to Disney Plus. But it's look, man, I just have no desire to go see this movie. I have none. I mean, even down to taking my daughters to see women in leading roles, and I still don't want to go see this. I don't even want to take them to see it. I'm like, we buy Disney Plus for a reason. We'll watch it there, but yeah, I did get a chance to see the third Equalizer. It didn't live up, man. I don't know if y'all seen it. It didn't live up. I don't think the story lived up to the other 2. I don't know if Denzel didn't know where to go with it, and they just hey, I'm gonna ride this way into it cresses, but I don't know, man. It didn't hit. I do have the new Mission Impossible because I never got to see it in the theater. So I plan on watching that after I go fishing, throwing that ride. Man, I've been on that fishing lately, bro. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Anything else before we get into what you've been gaming on? All right, so let's go. Yeah. You know what time it is. It's time for What Have You Been Gaming On? Sing it, folks. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? 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 Gaming on, gaming on, gaming on. All right. So who want to go first? Who wants to take the lead.
I don't know if you want me to go first. I got a lot to talk, lot to say.
Yeah, you
So I
go
don't know if you
first.
want me to
Yeah,
go.
go on, go first because you got a lot to say. We then me and Keith know how to adjust. Go ahead.
Sound like shade, but it's all good. So,
No, that was no shade. That's just shade.
you've been in shade mode. So, okay. So, what I've been gaming on. So, let me go ahead and jump into that. Um, First, let's talk about the game I'm probably been spending the most time, which is at this point still 2K. I've been putting a lot of time in 2K. But that's actually taking a back seat to some of the other games that I got going on. I'm still playing a little bit of Overwatch. I haven't played it that much this season. This is going to be the first season, not the first season, the second season that I don't get the max rank because it wasn't enough. I didn't even buy the battle pass for this season. Next season I'll probably get more into it. They're dropping a new character, a new tank, so probably jump more into Overwatch next season, starting up, I believe, next week. Um, Still playing a little bit of FIFA, but that's just in between some of the other games. And so into the main game I've been playing outside of 2K, which is Marvel Spider-Man 2. I know we kind of talked about that last time we was on the podcast. I know Level has it as well. But I've been jumping into the story of Spider-Man 2, and I like the game. It's fun. I found a cheap way um, to defeat all the enemies. It's kind of cheap. I don't know if you found it, Level, but there's a way to. Um, I found it on my own because in one of your power ups when you level up your Spider-Man, there's one that says it increases your attack by 50% if you stay in the air, and it resets when you hit the ground. Okay, have you seen that perk that you
No,
get with your character in the level up system?
no, because I haven't really. I explain when I get on when I'm at my
Okay,
turn, but no,
okay,
no, I
okay.
haven't.
So I found that, and then I found there's a way that you can just pretty much stay in the air and defeat all your enemies. Because if you hold square, you do like an uppercut and you knock them up in the air, and then you can jump up and start fighting them in the air. But while you're in the air, you hold triangle and you pull the guys from the ground into the air, and then you three hit them and they die, and then you pull the next guy up, three hit him and they die, then pull the next guy up and three hit them and they die. And the only thing that can phase you while you're in the air is if there's someone with a gun, but you get that little red indicator, so you can just hit circle and dodge, and then go back to kicking the guy butt that's in the air, or they shoot rockets at you, which you can either dodge or hold R1, L1, and then launch it back at them. But any of the melee guys, they can't touch you while you're in the air. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
kind of a,
No,
it feels kind of cheesy to me.
that sounds cheesy. I don't think I want that power up. So I'm
I
gonna
was
be
just
honest
messing
with
around and like you could literally stay in the air the entire time. There is a couple of things. The hunters do throw a net over you sometimes, so you can't jump. That's the one thing that I seen that counsels that game plan. If they throw a net on top of you, then you can't actually fight in the air.
you.
You
Okay.
actually have to fight on the ground. But that's the only thing that I've seen that kind of stops that gameplay. And if it's too many people shooting, you might have to go on the ground because it's too much dodging. But other than that, yeah. So I've been playing that. Uh, I'm loving the suits in this one. The uh, all the different spider suits that you get that you can unlock. I'm loving that
Okay.
because it's been pretty cool. I've been rocking, and it's every time I kind of rock a different outfit. But right now I'm rocking the original uh, Spider-Man the movie suit for Peter, and then for Miles I'm rocking the Into the Spider-Verse uh, fit, which actually has him like he is in the movie where he's not in sync with the game, right? It looks weird, but it's kind of how it played out in the movie. So that's pretty legit. So I've been rocking that. So I've been having fun. I think it's a fun game. I've been enjoying the story so far. So that's pretty much with Spider Man.
So you
Just
have.
yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Have you played in the black suit, or did you say that?
Yes,
Okay. All right.
yes.
Okay. You fought.
I am playing. I am. I am playing in the black suit,
Okay.
and it does have some ridiculous power ups to it.
Okay.
It gets ridiculous. So yeah, so I'm doing that. So just jumping quickly to the game that I just picked up. But I got to give you a quick story before I get into this game. So everyone knows I've been protesting buying Call of Duty this year. I'm not buying Call of Duty this year because they lied. It wasn't supposed to come out. I've already done the speech before. I'm not going to redo it. So I'm renting it from GameFly because I won't actually buy the game. So the original game was shipped to me November 8th, and I waited to around November 20th, and then I sent a message to GameFly saying, "Hey, I never got the game. What's going on?" UPS, I mean not UPS, the Postal Service hasn't delivered the game. So they say, okay, I reported it as lost, and then they sent me another one. Well, um, Monday came, and a week and a half later, I still haven't even got that one. And I sent a message out to GameFly. I say, I don't know what's going on. I haven't even received the second game you guys sent. And so they mailed me out a third one uh, today. Well, I looked in the mail today, and lo and behold, no, yeah, lo and behold, today I have Call of Duty, and so I've spent maybe an hour. Uh, Actually, it doesn't say how long I've spent playing this game. You know why it doesn't tell me how long? Because is it's combined the previous Call of Duty to this Call of Duty. And so it doesn't tell me how long I've played this Call of Duty. It's telling me how much I played this Call of Duty and the last one because it's seeing it as DLC. It's not seeing it as its own game. That is just ridiculous. But anyway, uh, I'm so far I'm not a big fan. Do you know they as of right now they have no new maps in this game? Every map in this game is a rehash of previous Call of Duty games. Every map in this game so far. There is not a single map in this game that is new to Call of Duty. Like I just if it has that Mario Kart just give me the maps feel to it. Like it doesn't feel like they should have been selling this game for $70. It doesn't feel that way to me. It feels completely like a DLC because that's what you would do in a DLC. You would just give old maps, renewed old maps, right? And people as the DLC would probably enjoy that and love that and spend $30 for that and be happy with it. But a brand new game with no new maps, none. I just rehashes of old original COD Modern Warfare maps. I don't know. I'm not happy about this game. I'm I'm not liking it. I got tired of it already. I've only played it for like maybe 2 hours, if that. Uh, but I'm gonna give it a little more shot, man. But I'm not impressed at all by this game, and I am not enjoying it. So that's just a quick review of Call of Duty. Brief statement because it really feels like DLC to me. And that's no shade. That's real. So I'll leave.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Shouts out to DJ Fanatic. Welcome to the show. Merry Christmas, gamers. Okay, so K-Bum, you really did not find pleasure with this new Call of Duty I see. So it's really that bad?
No,
It's
it's
really
it's not that it's not that it's not bad. It's that it's not fun. There's a difference.
okay. Okay.
Not that it's not bad. It's just not fun.
I love to hear what your
So
brother has to say about this game because if you said it's bad, he probably dumping on it hard. But anyway,
yeah.
is that all? It's Call of Duty, Spider-Man. Or am I turning it over to Keith, Mr. Norris?
Yeah. You can. Yeah. He can
Keith, you got the floor, bro. What you been
go for
gaming
it.
on?
Excuse me, I could have did that when the mic was muted. I'm sorry, y'all. I came in hard. All right. Because I was on mute for the longest. I could have been did that. All right.
Boy
So
came in with that.
Like, I'm back. No, I played a few games, but I've only completed one intentionally, and that was Alan Wake. Finally completed Alan Wake. I beat it
Oh, you
today,
finished
actually.
it.
I finished it. Um, I'm just gonna get right to it. Alan Wake has been nominated for Game of the Year, and we're gonna see it. Is it next week? Next week at the Game Awards, on the 7th. Man, it's already December. God dang. Okay. Um, Alan Wake has been nominated, and it's a well-deserved nomination. It's weird how the story is told. I've heard from some gamers who said that they didn't like the way the story went, and it was just too sophisticated at points. But I actually liked it. Think Resident Evil 2. You got Leon, and then you got Claire. Is it Claire? Yeah, and they're doing different things to bring the story to one point, and that's essentially what's going on with Alan Wake. Alan Wake 2. If you played the first one, you'll know that he got trapped. I ain't gonna go into too many details. So he's still trapped in the second game. This girl has come to try to figure out what's going on, and then their stories kind of merge together. And but what I like about this is, although they're doing different things in different parts of the game, it's not like how if you start Resident Evil 2 with Leon versus starting Resident Evil 2 with Claire, they pretty much start off the same way, essentially. But with this one, they have two very distinct story functions. And I really appreciate it. Kayvon, I promise you, you would like this game if you since you love stories, I think you would appreciate this game. As far as like the gaming, combat and stuff like that, I don't know. But as far as the story and how well developed they did it, and I'm actually anticipating either a part 3 or the DLC because I want to know what's going to happen after that game finished. They leave it on a cliffhanger, so I can't wait to see more of that game. I really think it's a well-deserved nomination. Shouts out to Remedy. They really did a really good job with that game. Well deserved. Now, the other games that I've been playing, and they just been kind of one-offs. I went back and downloaded Flight Simulator, and I need to go ahead and remove that because I don't see myself playing it. Although it is very peaceful, it's very technical. It's a simulator, and it's very technical. It might, actually, I'm probably not gonna delete it. It's probably something that I can just play while I'm doing other things, but it's really fun. But at the same time, it's really boring. I don't really know how to. I don't really know how to explain it. It's such a weird thing, and it's like it's something that only Microsoft would do, right? Think like Forza, but flying, and and of course the old school flight simulator. But it's actually pretty cool because you got to consider wind, rain, how high you're running before, how high your altitude, and before you stall out. You got to consider all of these things. You can't just press a button like you're in GTA and just fly willy nilly. That's not how it works. There's some real technical stuff going on in this game. The planes just don't stop because you hit the brake; they keep going, or they automatically go, and the only thing you can do is increase or decrease the power. It's not a gas pedal. It's increase the power, decrease the power. So it's very interesting. If I allow myself to really get into it, I think I can get into it. But right now, it's a in the middle type of game. It's kind of a meh, but not really a meh. It's just something that's an acquired taste, I guess you could say.
It's a different type of game, man. It's
It
a
it,
very different
it
type of game.
absolutely is, definitely. The next game I've been playing, I haven't played much of it, but with the amount that I played, I've really enjoyed it, and that's Ratchet and Clank, Ripped Apart. Been playing a little bit of that.
Okay, yeah.
That's probably gonna be my next focus. I don't know. We'll see. I'm still looking at Cyberpunk. I don't want to finish that game. I'm scared to finish that game. I don't want to finish, but Ratchet and Clank, and then I also played a little bit of Hi-Fi Rush. Now I'm kind of all over the place, but I wanted to finally give that game an actual chance, and I beat the actual boss in Hi-Fi Rush, the very first one, and it was actually pretty fun. It was actually pretty fun. And the last game that I played that I'm considering, I played the demo, and that's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Um, I think I might pick that up. I don't know. I've been kind of wanting to play some Dragon Ball, and I played a little bit of the demo today, and uh, it felt right. I'm tired of that story, but at the same time, I like the fighting. I like the concept of Dragon Ball and how they move, and that game does a really good job with the movement. Of course, it's a retelling of all the same stories that we know, but I think that may be a game I pick up in the future for sure. But I believe, yeah, that's what I've been gaming on. I haven't played any Mario, believe it or not. Haven't even tried.
Okay. Um, well, that leaves me, and I'll be real quick. So I pretty much had all last week off, and I was planning on playing a lot of Spider-Man because I hadn't really gotten a chance to because of where my PlayStation is, and my son always down here, and I don't feel like packing it up and taking it upstairs. So I thought I was gonna be able to get it in because I can boot him out and be like, "Hey, I'm down here. You guys to go." Well, my son ended up having a huge abscess growing in his chest, two of them, and we ended up having to rush him to the hospital. So your boy didn't get a chance to really get into much of anything. I did play a little Spider-Man. I did play Craven. I did get to the part where you first encounter Craven the Hunters and his goons. And it was kind of getting on my nerves a little bit because I felt like they was a little OP. But they had, now I'll be honest though, but it had been a minute since I actually played the game. So my twitch and my handle of the controls, I had forgot them. I forgot where stuff was. I forgot how to do everything. So I was a little rusty. But by the time I got back into the groove of things, I had pretty much, where they basically trying to kidnap or take what's his name? Cause you playing as Miles on that part.
The Sandman.
Not the Sandman. The Asian
Not the
guy.
Connors.
The Asian
No,
guy.
the Asian guy. That is Mr. Negative.
Negative, Mr. Negative. They was trying to take him, and we was trying to stop him from taking him. So, but when my son went into the hospital, I thought I was gonna be down here gaming. And it pretty much took the desired game out. We was pretty much dealing with him. He's doing good. They had to cut him open in two spots. The bottom part is healing, finally starting to close, but the top, he literally has to get it packed every day until it fully healed. Like they literally stuff it with a cloth to absorb and the bleeding and the infection, and it's slowly healing. So we didn't even. That's why we didn't come up your way, K-Bum. We didn't even get a chance to leave. He went in on that. We took him to the hospital on Tuesday. They really didn't know what was going on. Then his doctor bring him back now, and we had to take him in on Wednesday, and they kept him, and they skipped ER, and they put him straight into a room, and they did the surgery right then and there. And he got out that Sunday, and now he's back down here hibernating because he can't move. So that's my gaming. so that was my week. So I gamed on some turkey because we didn't even, our Thanksgiving was kind of just that kind of took precedence over everything. So, but again, he's doing good. So he's doing better, and I'm happy for that. And but I got a little Mario in, a tidbit of Spider-Man. My aim was to play Spider-Man, but I was going to buy a Star Wars. What is it? Star Wars Survivor, Jedi Survivor. It was on sale on Black Friday for $31. And K-Bum and Keith told me to get it. And I was like, nah, it's gonna be on sale. For whatever reason, I believed it was gonna stay on sale even past Black Friday. And I was like, I'm gonna focus on Spider-Man right now, and then I get that down the road. Well, that mug shot back up to $69.99. I was hurt. I was like, I should have got that game when I could have. But I'm pretty sure closer to Christmas, it'll come back down on sale. So I'll catch it then. But my ambition is to get farther into Spider-Man. So, K-Bun, that's why I don't know. Because last week was going to be my catch-up week. and that just got derailed and still getting derailed because I don't want to take the PlayStation upstairs, man. I really just don't. So I just been leaving it down here and just haven't been gaming. But I may have to boot them on out of here and say, hey, man, take your I ain't gonna say that. Go upstairs so I can play this game. But yeah, so that's my gaming week. A little scared for my son, but everything is good. We back. So I get it in this week, and next week I have I hopefully Cable might catch up with you by that time or get somewhere close to where you're at. I haven't even seen the symbiote and but I haven't seen Spider-Man engage it yet. I ain't even got that far. So, with that being said, my Lakers looking like trash. Anyway, so let's get into these topics. Let's just jump out the gate with Game Pass, man. So, who sent this into the chat room? I think it was it you, King?
That was me. If y'all hear crying in the background, that's my kids. They'll be okay. Nobody's hurt. That was me.
So I'm gonna let you take over right here, man, and I'm gonna look this article up. But yeah, man. So what's going on with Microsoft? I saw the article. I'm finna go to the thing and pull it up so we can talk about it and read this article. But go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you can't beat them. Join them. So that was finna pull up this article where the Xbox Chief Financial Officer Tim Stewart, I think that's his name, Tim Stewart. Basically, they want to bring Game Pass to PlayStation and Nintendo consoles. Because money talks, and they're trying to get as many subscribers as they possibly can. And my thought on this before Level pulls the article. My thought on this is let's get as many subscribers as we can so they can get into the ecosystem, and then we'll separate. We're going to basically use PlayStation and Nintendo's user base to build our user base. They know what they're doing. I know he better not. Hold on, I'll be right back.
I know them sounds of somebody in trouble.
Daddy mode.
Yeah, I know that because I had to go up there and get my 3 in check earlier today. So anyway, I pick up where he left off. So this is Xbox exec says Microsoft wants to bring Game Pass to PlayStation and Nintendo. Its mission is to have its first-party experiences on every screen that can play a game. Now, I'm going to read some more, then hopefully Keith will be back and I'll let him pick back up. Xbox Chief Financial Officer have said the company eventually wants to bring Game Pass to PlayStation and Nintendo consoles. Tim Stewart told attendees at the Wells Fargo TMT Summit that the company's ultimate goal is to bring all of its content and services to every screen that can play a game. This is desperation. This mission is designed to reap higher profits from Microsoft's gaming division that has traditionally been the case with its relatively low margin console business, the exec said. It was one of the motivating factors behind the company's $69 billion acquisition of Call of Duty creator Activision Blizzard, which it completed last month. I'll read a little bit more. Keith, you back yet?
I'm back.
Okay,
I'm back.
So I'll read a little bit more and I'll give it to you. For us, when we think about the business, games, as it relates to Microsoft, and with Activision operating leverage and margin expansion is definitely a piece of that puzzle, Stewart said. At the highest level, you go from what was a lower margin third-party entity that was sold on our stores to a high margin first-party business. So now that they acquired Activision, they feel like they have a high margin first party business because of Call of Duty. So when you think about it, the Xbox component of Call of Duty, you go from the low margin business to a high margin business. This is sad when you really just think about what Microsoft is actually saying or what this dude is saying about Microsoft. Then what you do is you also expand and say, we're now driving high margin sales on PlayStation and on Nintendo. So it says a little bit more. Do you want me? Let me read this a little bit. Prior to
Go ahead,
its
go ahead, go ahead.
purchase of Activision Blizzard, Microsoft agreed. I would say to a 10-year agreed to 10-year deals to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo platforms and to keep it on PlayStation consoles. Should this acquisition be approved by the competition regulators? So we all know this. We passed on it, so ain't no point in reading no more of that. So, Mr. Norris, go ahead and pick back up, and I piggyback off what you have to share.
All right, so they really threw me off, but my my thought process on this is, they're basically gonna use it's kind of like a Trojan horse. What was I watching? I was watching something that was I was studying for cybersecurity, so it's a Trojan horse basically.
And hold up.
Hey,
Thanks for that prayer, DJ Fanatic. I appreciate that, bro. I just saw that. I was looking over here, but go ahead, Keith.
no problem, no problem, no problem. Basically, it's a Trojan horse. They're gonna use like they're in third place. They've consistently been in third place since the Xbox. What 360 was 360 in third place? Yeah, since the three because they was in second place with the original Xbox, and it's just kind of been downhill from there because they seem like they can't find their footing. And I'm not gonna lie, I think Game Pass is a good service that they've come up with. I really do. I just don't think Game Pass has the games, and neither that their consoles without Game Pass. And I think Microsoft right now is just trying to find their footing because they haven't really been successful financially with their console market business. And I just see them trying to figure out a way to make Xbox like a household name if it isn't already a household name, but make it a household name not only over here but of course overseas. Where if you are a Game Pass subscriber, you go in there right now, you're gonna see a bunch of Japanese games, stuff you probably never heard of, or stuff you have heard of, or just a bunch because they're trying to appease everybody. And to me, it's kind of sad in a way because although they're offering a lot of things, and when they do eventually come to PlayStation and Nintendo, there's going to be a lot of things offered that they wouldn't that I guess like third party games that Nintendo and PlayStation gamers wouldn't have to purchase because they had Game Pass. But it's kind of sad because it's like y'all really could just be doing like your own main exclusive titles, but instead they have to go this route to be successful. And to me, it's just a sad situation to see Microsoft, who had the Halos, the Gears, and I don't know. It's almost like they're not trying to go out like Sonic. Sega did with Sonic and all of that, and now you see Sonic everywhere, in all those Sega games. So I don't know. Maybe the gaming industry is more challenging than we thought. I don't know, but I don't. That's all I got for right now.
Okay. K Mom, you want to go before me? What you want to do?
Yeah, I want to go before you,
Okay.
but I got a quick question for you, Level.
Okay.
When you think about PC gaming, what's the first thing you think about? What's the first name that pops up when you think about PC gaming?
The first name? Dang, K
First,
Mom.
first name, just a name that pops up when you think about buying games on a PC.
Steam?
Yeah,
Okay,
yep.
all
Hmm.
right. You do know that Steam that you can buy PC games anywhere. You don't have to buy games through Steam. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but why is Steam the first? Why is Steam the first thing you think of when you think of PC? This is what Microsoft wants.
Why is Steam the first? Well,
Why is Steam the first thing you think of when you're thinking about buying games on a PC?
because they
You
offer
can
them.
you can you you can go to the store and buy PC games. You can
Yeah.
go to other markets and buy PC games. Steam is the first thing people think of when you're the first name that just quickly pops to your head when you think about buying. Steam is just a platform
Hmm.
that
Right.
offers games. You can buy it through their ecosystem and be attached to their ecosystem. This is what Microsoft is trying to do.
Right.
They want to be the name you think about when you think about console gaming. This isn't desperation. I have to disagree with you, Level. This is not desperation. I have been saying this for years that Microsoft knows that gaming goes beyond the console. Gaming is going to go beyond a physical system. Gaming is going to exist in the cloud. They know that. And they are preparing themselves for that. I have been saying this for a long time now. They want to be the Steam of console gaming. They
So
have
it,
put they have quietly put everything they own into Game Pass. Every reveal in the what was that, the video game show? I don't know what we called it this summer. The Summer Game Fest. Every reveal for Xbox. What did they say? Either before the video air or after the video air. What was the tag?
Play it now
play
on
it on,
Game
play it
Pass.
out on Game Pass. Yeah.
Also available on Game Pass. They that is that's their game plan. Their game plan is Game Pass. That okay. How do you go from 2017? Well, when was that? 2017, 2016? When we first saw when they first revealed the new Xbox. What were they saying then? We are building the most powerful system that has ever existed in
Mm-hmm.
console. We want the most powerful console ever. Right? That was their tag.
You talking about the current one, the series?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, the Series X. About
Okay.
Because they
2017. We
said
saw sorry.
they pretty much said every system they make. But go ahead. You're right
But
though.
that was a tag for this one. That was a tag for this one.
Yeah.
So why is it 3-1, 2-1 ratio of Xbox Series S's being sold more than Xbox Series X?
Well, you
Because they
know.
don't care. They
Well,
don't care about the system,
okay.
bro.
Uh,
Bro, they
uh,
don't care about the physical system. Microsoft,
I'm gonna stay
is-
with Nia. I'm
Mi-
gonna say I'm gonna hold my
Microsoft
for
is a
right now.
PC company. Let's not forget this.
Yeah.
What? Okay, okay. Let's take another step back. Um, what was Internet Explorer?
Universal
A,
Trash.
CD-ROM, right?
a browser, a
Yeah.
browser. Internet Explorer. Well, why did everyone use it? Internet Explorer.
Because it was available, free, wasn't it?
No, 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 no. Alta Vista was available. Yahoo was available. Google, no, well, Google on there at that point in time. AIM, AOL was available. The reason people used Internet Explorer is because it was pre-installed on your PC.
Right. That's okay. Well, that's what I meant by free. But go
Well,
ahead.
I want to make sure I was clear. Available is
Okay.
different than pre-installed on your PC. Like they are the king at forcing a product to become the status quo
Yeah.
right under your nose.
They did what
And
Pro Tools did. They kind of did what Pro
yes,
Tools did. That's what I was finna say. But go ahead.
hmm
I'll let you finish.
and to me, this isn't desperation, man.
I
This is textbook. They have been going this direction since before the Series X launch that they were going to make Game Pass the thing. It was going to be the new face because it was supposed to be the cloud. The cloud didn't pan out, right? And then they talked about this new system. They saw that not panning out, especially when they saw the specs of the PlayStation, and then they saw the actual realization of the PlayStation. That they've been putting their chips into Game Pass,
yeah.
and before in 2019 they had already said they wanted to put Game Pass on every system, and then they walked that back in 2019, and then in 2023 they're coming back at it again. So this isn't something they just thought of this year. This is something they try to do
No,
in 2019.
I agree.
This is their game plan, man.
I
This
don't.
is what I believe.
Yeah,
This is
no.
I'm gonna stand on it until I get knocked off because I keep seeing more and more evidence that tells me that's the direction they're going with,
I
and that they want to have life beyond
I
the console and supersede the console and
okay.
make money on all ends.
Yes.
But that's how I see it.
Well, we
So
okay. So let me
I'll leave
send
it
a
at that.
shout out to Chariot Man. What's up, man?
But we got smashed.
We got Smash Bros. Chariot. All right. So I would say this. So K Bum, I have to give it to you. First of all, let me give you claps. Your take was very good, but I still have, because everything you said is so on point and very insightful. First of all, Microsoft did come out and at the beginning say they have a vision of seeing Game Pass everywhere, right? They did say that. I remember that. Mm-hmm. We all speculated that they was going to put it on the Switch. I remember us saying that back in 2017, like, you know what'd be dope? If they actually put this on the Switch, you know, and because they was putting Ori and all, they was, you know, bringing games to, I'm going to have to tell my boy I call him back. They was bringing games to the Switch, you know, and doing that, and they had this kind of unique relationship between them and Nintendo, and we all speculated, man, what would be dope and what would be smart if Nintendo would partner with Microsoft to get them to bring Game Pass to the Switch. Okay, so everything you said is right on. I would say this though. This would be my caveat. This would be where I would say that there is a hint of desperation. So they had that plan. That's clearly their vision, but I don't think that was what I don't think they was really looking to have to go that route that hard now. They thought they could build to it using this ultra powerful system, and I believe they thought the what's the word? The illusion of what could be with Game Pass, that what they painted, first games, you don't buy the game, they all first party is right there. I believe they thought that was going to cause a flux to them, like a migration to them. Man, look at this, what Microsoft is for the gamers. We're going to get over here because we got, not only are we getting Game Pass, we're getting first party games day one, day and date, don't have to pay for them as long as we pay for the service. And at the beginning, it was seeming like it was possibly going to work. But then L at the L at the L at the L to the point that they don't even show the Xbox system sales no more. Like, I was going to pull up an article. I can't find it. I had it. And I think Keith put this up in the chat.
That was me.
Was that you? Okay. I knew somebody did. I actually read it where they haven't been showing the sales of the console anymore. So what that tells me is they are speeding up the process because of desperation. I don't think they expected to be quite where they are at right now. I believe they'll be more competitive in the traditional classical way that they've been doing things, competing against Sony, competing against Nintendo to a lesser sense, but Nintendo and the Switch really took off in a way that none of us predicted. And Sony is doing Sony things. PlayStation just truggling along like it always does. And everybody is on the PlayStation 5. And Microsoft has been just bleeding and hemorrhaging pretty much since 2018. So I believe now everything you said, they have sped it up. Like, okay, we look at everything they saying. Like, I look at this line right here that stood out to me, and I want to highlight it. Whoever this exec said, at the highest level, you go from what was a lower margin third-party entity that we sold on our store to a high margin first-party business. Now, okay, my thought is if they're referring to Activision, Call of Duty has never been low margin. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, it's slick talk. Basically, to me, what you're saying is what we offer is low margins. You put the third party there, but you can't be talking about Call of Duty because Call of Duty has always been high margin, high selling. Now that you have it as a first party game, as your own game, now you're throwing that out there as high margin first party. So you don't have anything that people want to play other than. Go ahead. That's how
you can look at it. You can look at this. I'm rereading it. I'm trying to understand. You can look at it and say the low margin, and they're talking about Call of Duty. You could talk about the sales on their system versus PlayStation system.
Okay, well,
and now that they have it, it's a first party
high margin.
High margin. Yeah,
okay,
because
so
now we got all the sales.
Right. So if you look at it from that angle as well, I believe that's also. I can take it from that angle because it seems like both is being said. Let me say this. What I take from this is Microsoft is saying we don't sell nothing. That's what I got from it. We sell nothing. None of our first party is doing great. We bought all these. We bought Bethesda. We can't even get a Game of the Year placement with Starfield. People got a love-hate. They appreciate it, but it wasn't fun. All our games, first party games, have been duds, and the only game that we can really talk about that people like wasn't even first. It was a carryover from last generation, which is Gears of War, and then you got the Forzas. So everything they offer right now I could call low margin. Now that but I bet you any amount of money what you just said, Keith, is the proper way to interpret what he just said. So I'm gonna take what you said, but it's still saying we are not doing well in sales. Now we got this big entity. We don't want to just put it on our platform because we already know what our platform does. We want to put it everywhere to continue to have that high margin sales that Activision, Call of Duty always generated. Now that it's first party, we want to continue to get those sales, and they know they can't get it just putting it on Microsoft system. So it seems like to me they are streamlining their plan, or they are speeding up their plan. They're jumping. They have forfeited this generation. Phil Spencer said, "We can't compete," didn't he? He said that. He literally said we cannot compete. So I'm saying like this. Two things can be true. Everything you said, K-Bum, is accurate, right on the money. Like I said, the way you articulated that, I was like, wow, you made me pause. Like, man, K-Bum up here talking that real talk. Who said it? DJ Fanatic said, I feel like I'm in a classroom. This is video games 101. But I also believe a hint of what I'm saying is true too. That Microsoft has forfeited this generation, and they're going now. They like, look, we have learned our lesson. We lost with the Xbox One. We make the most powerful system, Xbox Series X, and we're getting mollywopped. We losing. So we're gonna go with our long-term vision, our games everywhere, and that's going to become our vision now, not later, but now. That's why I think what you said is right on the money. So that's what I would say.
So let me touch on two things, and I'll give Keith a chance to say something too. So I did want to say that Microsoft stopped externally giving out console data. They from their words 6 to 7 years ago. So that would predate Xbox Series X
because they never led.
I agree, but I just want to say that it predates this current console.
Yeah, you're right. But why did they stop? Why did they stop?
No, because they trash.
Because they were getting whooped. So yeah, they still get whooped. Absolutely. I guarantee you, if they was winning, you would see themselves.
I don't deny that.
Okay,
you will not see me deny that.
Because they sure didn't want that fact that the Xbox Series X instead of selling the X. That was leaked.
No, they didn't want that out
They
either.
didn't want that out at all.
But let me touch on another point you made.
Yeah.
The point a point you made is about the speeding up of the plan. If you remember, so let's take our memories, and let's go back to the leak. There was a conversation. I think it was in a deposition when the lawyer was talking to Xbox exec. Maybe it was the main guy. I forget his name. It's slipping my tongue right now. You know what I'm talking about. The main
Phil?
Xbox guy. Phil Spencer. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And he asked them about Game Pass, and he talked about how it hadn't grown really since the last time they met, which was like 8 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a statement that said if Game Pass doesn't grow, they can see themselves. Also, if Game Pass doesn't grow, and also they don't get this merger, they can see themselves being out of the gaming industry, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
so, so I can. Your point of them speeding this up has merit. It does. It has merit because they are
Okay.
not in the position they thought they would have been in. They thought they would Game Pass would have grown more than what it has now. They thought they would have more people in their ecosystem, right? There is some merit to the fact that there probably is some speeding up of their plan. Um, I'll just go back and say I do believe this has been the end game for them the entire time.
Yeah.
But I can see your point of them speeding it up because they do have to recoup their money. They do want to increase their, and Keith kind of said, use their Trojan horse to increase their user base by siphoning the Nintendo and the PlayStation users, right? And
Yeah.
to get them into their ecosystem, uh, and get them a part of the Xbox library. So
Right.
like I said, I want to call those two things out because I thought it was important enough to call out. So
Okay. And Keith, you got anything you want to add to that?
Man, I think because y'all said a lot of great stuff. So in software, there's always disruptors. You can look at the Nintendo Switch as a disruptor. It came out and was doing things that the other two weren't doing. The Wii was a disruptor. And I think
Mhm.
Microsoft has been looking for their disruption in the market, and just to give the listeners, I know y'all are smart, y'all know, Netflix was a disruptor. It destroyed all your mom and pops and the
Took
blockbusters and
Blockbuster out.
took them out.
Sure did.
So I think Microsoft is looking for their disruptor. The only problem with Microsoft is that they suck, and that's
Keith, hold up, man. Keith, man, why do you
This man
set
said
us up?
they suck.
You set us up. And listen how he talking, K-Bum. He talking so precise, like we at a meeting and he wanna trying to give schematics and stuff. Then out of nowhere they just suck. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
let's really think about this. They suck at this. Like
they
it
do.
hasn't grown, and the reason it hasn't grown is because we have to always go back to this one thing, and the one thing that they are avoiding: making games. They're buying them. They're buying them. They have all the developers. They
Right.
have them all, but they're still not making that game. I don't know what that game is. I'm sure y'all don't know what that game is, and it is obvious they don't know what that game is. But Nintendo does. Sony does.
Right.
They know what that game is. And that's the issue. That's why it's not growing. Yes, we're gonna have Game Pass on the Switch or whatever the successor is. We're gonna put it on the PS5. That's great. Microsoft, you're still in the same boat. You're making money. You are recouping that money. So on the business side, you've handled aspect of it. But the other aspect of it, people are still going to be playing their PlayStation exclusives, their Nintendo exclusives. They're still going to be playing their third-party games on Steam.
But
Heck, they may even play their games on Game Pass on their PC, but they're not going to buy your consoles. They're not going to go out and buy the TVs that have the Xbox Game Pass built into it. They're not. They don't want it. So yeah, you're going to get the money, but you still got the same fundamental problem.
I
You don't make games.
I would say this. I believe that's what the acquisition of these third-party companies, bringing them in. You know, they said they want to buy Nintendo. So I believe that they believe their strategy is to buy first party, to buy what's selling. So Call of Duty. Now you got Blizzard. I mean Activision. You got Activision, Blizzard, and you got Bethesda and their first party. So I think they're just trying. Okay, we're gonna buy all these already proven studios and these companies, bring them in house, and now we have something to start with to do what K-Bum's saying, and to usurp what you're saying, Keith. We don't have to make games now. We have the biggest seller ever, Call of Duty. But we know we can't bring it in-house and make it exclusive to Xbox. Then there was no reason to buy it because that's going to kill it. That's going to nerf it. So we have to keep it everywhere. So you said something, though, that I was finna say, and you brought up Nintendo. And I think that was the unexpected. Nintendo's resurgence back onto the main stage threw everything off of Microsoft, because not only did they make a resurgence, they came back to prominence. They are literally respected and doing so much that third party are actually taking them serious now. I know that has to scare Microsoft. Because if you have a Sony doing what it always does, and then now a Nintendo doing what Sony does, because 130, that's to go from the Wii U to the Switch, you didn't expect that. None of us saw this. And this thing is still selling still selling enough to where I pray that they don't get comfortable and anyway, let's not even go down that lane. But my
next gen starts with us.
Right. So my point is, I think Microsoft just looking at like Nintendo is back. You can't compete with their first party. Now third party is actually taking Nintendo serious. So that means who's going to get the short end of the stick? Who's getting it?
You, sir.
You, me, us. So we seen what this looks like because Nintendo was that. And they couldn't survive that. That's why I'm thinking they have forfeited. Like, look, okay, we got to go a different direction. We can't compete with first party. Sony and Nintendo got us there. We're not competing there. There's nothing we can do to catch up to that. Well, possibly they could, but right now I don't see what they can do in the media.
They said themselves that they can't.
Yeah, because look how long. Okay, Nintendo. Let's be real. They started really with the N64. When Sony came in, Nintendo had to figure out their first party. You know, before it was everything. You used to have Mario, you had Metroid, you had Zeldas, you had it. Don't get me wrong. But when the third party migrated to the PlayStation, Nintendo had to step their game up in first party because that's all they had. And they built that up to where you got comfortable with just having first party on Nintendo. That didn't start with Super NES. That started with the N64 because it had no choice. So the N64, I remember them days where you was waiting for them cartridges and it was just Drought City. And then the GameCube came and you experienced it again. And that's when you start getting the Smash and Mario Karts and all these new ways Nintendo was diving into sports stuff, and they began to work that first party. Then Xbox came into prominence with the 360, and that's where you saw Sony start to really work their first party because they lost third party. So they started working first party. Then you get the Kratos. Then you get The Last of Us, you get all Uncharted and all these crazy studios. Why? Because third party had chose the 360. The only company that didn't learn what to do was Microsoft. When it pivoted back to Sony with the PlayStation 4, Microsoft, they tried. They had what the people that make Alan Wake was in what was the other one? Quantum Break. They was trying.
Quantum Break was great.
It was. They was trying, but they just didn't stick with it. They didn't go through that generation like the PlayStation, like Sony did with PlayStation 3, like Nintendo did with the N64 and the GameCube. You have to stick with it with first party. You can't. You got to keep at it. They stopped and they went back to, let's spend all this money to get exclusives. Let's spend all this money so they got what was it? To compete with Uncharted. They got Lara Croft.
Tomb Raider.
They paid for that exclusivity. So they started doing that instead of making what Sony and Nintendo before them making their own games. Now, even if third party leaves, Sony still got their first party. Nintendo still got their first party. So Microsoft doesn't. So that's what I see. And Nintendo resurgent like that just knocks Microsoft out the way. Game Pass and all, it didn't matter. You are no longer the second. You're not 1 and 2. You 3. Nintendo is that thing. That fight is between Nintendo and Sony right now. Who gonna be and it goes to what Keith said, and they have a distinct offering. Nintendo doesn't have to directly compete with Sony because what Nintendo is offering is distinctly different in a first party and as a hyper system. Sony has the power home console thing sold up. Where does Microsoft find their place? Because you can't outdo Sony. And you don't want to do a hybrid and try to compete with Nintendo. Nobody beats Nintendo with the handhelds.
Nobody.
Where you go? So you got to go with, like Keith, you just said it. Their game changer is Game Pass, and you got to. But in order to do that, you got to go third party.
They just everything. The whole thing that you just said. They continuously skip trying to make games, or when they have a game, like you said, they don't stick with it. Microsoft is like that kid who's watching the basketball players and he's like, I can do that. I can dunk from the free throw line. You don't realize Nintendo and Sony have been practicing this for a very long time. You just walked up and said you want to do it. You can't even hit a layup. Can you hit a layup? Can you do that? It's still 2 points. Just do the layup. You trying to get all you trying to do the fantastic crossovers and stuff. You gotta dribble the ball first. You're not there.
I knew
you buying studios.
I knew it was a problem when they kept pushing Forza as something to sell and move systems. I'm like, do y'all know that back in the day, Gran Turismo was a system mover, and what was the one that was it Square Enix? What was the racer they made? Ridge Racer? No, was it Ridge Racer? Who made that?
That sound like Ridge Racer sound like
that was on the PlayStation.
Namco.
Was it Namco?
Yes.
Yeah. That used to be back in the day. That was to be a showpiece system moving, and wherever it showed up at, it really showed off the power of the system. Well, notice they all left that model of using racing games and stuff like that to show off a system, and here Microsoft every year think Forza is a system mover. Namco, thank you. They think Forza is a system mover. No, Forza is it shows case the power of the system. But nobody's going to go out and buy an Xbox for Forza. Just like no one is going out to buy a PlayStation 5 for Gran Turismo. They used to, not anymore. But how many years have that been Microsoft's model? Look at the new Gran Turismo. Like, bro, can we stop? Where's your Mario? Where is your what's that mascot character? Who is that? Is it Halo with Master Chief? You killed him. Is it Mark with Gears of War? You replaced him with his son and you screwed that up. Yeah.
They fumbled the bag. Honestly.
They fumbled bad, man. So, yeah. So, anyway, any other thoughts on this? Go ahead.
Even with all that being said, I still think Game Pass is something to reckon with.
No, I agree. I'm saying that's why I was saying what Keith said is right on the money. They need their game changer, and I say it's Game Pass. But in order to do that, you got to go to another model, which is more like third party.
But that's why they're buying. That's why they're buying third party.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what they're doing. So when you said what you said, K-Bum, about Steam, when you made me get, and I was like, what Steam? That's what
you felt right for it. So I was happy.
Yeah, Steam. And I was like, I see where this dude going, and you right on the money. But I'm pretty sure Steam don't want to lose that leverage. They might be like, hey, now. Hey, we can put Steam on everything too. So, but anyway, I thought that was good. Let's go to. Or if we got any other points on this, we can move on. I knew that Microsoft was going to take a while, so that's why I want to start there. Okay, so we talked about this, and we'll knock it out real quick. The top 5 worst controllers in gaming. The top 5 worst, he said Sony doesn't really have a mascot. Yeah, no, I can't say that. Sony got a couple. They got Kratos. They got Nathan Drake. They got is it Ellie? They got some people. They got some people that when you see their face, you say Sony. They got several. Yeah. They just like Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong. They have their trio of characters that when you see them, you think Sony. And it's a positive feeling. When you see Halo, you be like, oh, that's used to be. You don't think high of Halo. When you see Master Chief, you don't have good vibes like you used to. But when you see Kratos, you still feel high about him. Not Mario status. Nobody's Mario status. No, not on Mario status. No, that's not fair.
No one's Mario status.
That's unfair. That's not fair. Let's be fair, DJ Fanatic. First name, let's be fair with it. Nobody's Mario. Not even Mickey Mouse is Mario. So, but they do have distinguishable, iconic characters that service.
Dude, it's terrific.
It is. It's a car. What am I supposed to connect to here? But anyway, so we was talking about this. What is the top 5 worst controllers between the big 3 and adding Sega on there, the big 3 now and then Sega back in the day? Amongst these 4 companies, where do we feel like were the worst controllers they all offered? So I'm gonna let these guys go and see what they got, and I'll just chime in here and there. Let us know what you feel like your top 5 worst controllers are. Nia said the GameCube controller. So, K-Bun, what's your first one? Then we come to you, Keith.
So, all right. Well, my number 5 gonna make people mad.
Okay, go ahead.
I already know. Number 5 is gonna remember this is 5, and I understand the
love affair.
Not the love affair.
Okay.
I understand how iconic this controller is.
Whoa!
But we have to
Nintendo
controller. We have to know. But we also have to come to grips that this is one of the most uncomfortable controllers to have ever existed.
I feel like we finna get an NES controller.
This thing cuts into your hands. It is uncomfortable. Iconic. Uncomfortable. The original NES controller. I'm sorry.
I felt.
I told you this gonna make people mad.
Okay.
That thing is
uncomfortable.
It is.
Oh my God! It's on your list.
It cuts into your corners of your hand, bro.
It's on my list. Yes, it's a
It's the
bad controller.
grandfather. It's the grandfather.
It's
The
the
NES
original.
is
It's what everything is based off. He
I,
can't say it's the
no. Any
No,
I understand, but yeah, I understand,
Wow.
but we can do things better. I'm sorry
Okay.
that
Yes, I.
it cuts into the corner of your hand, man.
Oh man, this is
It
so
hurts.
wrong.
it's on the list.
It's
It's
on the
on my
list.
list. It's on
I
the
got
list.
that's a good sample. It's on the list. I had to sample that. I'm had to go through this and copy that one. You get an agreement. This is crazy. Nia's agreeing with you.
Man, I'm just. This is not
Honestly,
Nintendo. Hey,
he's not
I
lying.
love my NES. I played the crap out of that thing when I was a kid, but that thing, good lord.
Okay, I'm hurt. K-Bum, I'm hurt by this,
I
but
mean, nobody has box hands. I mean,
Nobody has boxing hands.
wow. I can't believe that y'all actually. But
Oh
you
man.
tell the
but
truth. When you look back on it, it was well for its day.
For its day, it was a step up over everything. But
It
we
was
have to.
groundbreaking.
We're looking at it from 2023, though, brother.
We still
but you,
use the D-pad, bruh. We still got
We
to start and
do.
select, man.
We do. Super Nintendo showed everyone this is how you make a controller. That is a controller.
It's
That
not
would always
economic.
be that would be
Economical. You're
the
right, Nia.
you know what's funny about that though?
Wow.
Are you holding your phone? Turn it sideways.
I feel it. It's cut into my hand.
Even phones got more curves on the side of this than this controller, man. Go ahead, bro. Go
Oh man,
ahead.
that's funny.
All
Okay.
right, my number five. My number five. I'm putting this on the list just because it needs to be on the list.
I don't have
and
a
Put it on
phone.
the list.
that's the original PlayStation controller without the analog sticks.
Ooh.
Oh,
I hated that D-pad. That
I
D-pad tore my fingers up.
The
okay.
original PlayStation without the analogs. You right.
Without the analog. With the analog, it was
Yeah,
better.
yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But
You're right.
without them,
That was one of mine.
That's a good one.
That was one of mine. Keith, I didn't have it in no particular order though, so but no, that was one of my that was gonna be one of mine. I'm trying to find a picture of it. But go ahead, I'm listening.
that's it. I mean, I just hated the D-pad. I hated. And they improved the material over time. They the PlayStation controller fundamentally is the same, but they definitely improve the material. And I remember playing with my homeboy back in the day. We were playing Street Fighter, and I was like, I do not like this D-pad. I get it, how it's separated and all this other stuff. I don't like it. Everything else just felt like a Super Nintendo controller, and I
And that's
wasn't
what it
used
is.
to.
That's what
I
it
wasn't.
is.
Yeah.
It is,
A
but I
rip.
wasn't
Yeah.
used to the second analog stick yet. I wasn't used to that back then. So the second analog sticks, I'm used to it now. Like I wouldn't want to control it without them now, but back then,
I feel you. I feel you. It's not on my list, but yeah, I can see it making it. That's a good one.
Okay, so we got the NES, we got the first PlayStation controller. So both original controllers for two different. All right.
go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it.
I don't like I said I didn't have five, man. I was going to go with my worst was going to be the original
You can't
Xbox.
jump to your words already.
Well, I didn't have no order, but one of my
Oh, okay.
worst controllers was the Xbox, the original Xbox controller.
The Duke.
Yeah, I remember being gung ho to I'm gonna pull it up here to play this system because of the graphics and all that. And I had a young boy that I was mentoring at the church. He got one, and so we had a I don't know what we called a shut in or something at the church. All the men shut in. We had food and games and all that. And he bought the Xbox, and I played Dead or Alive. OG controller. Let me look this up. And I just could not understand Who thought this was a good who thought this controller was good? I mean, it was too. I don't have small hands, but this controller was too big for my hands. Yeah, and these buttons, man, the buttons were like, who made these hard, unyielding buttons? Who put these hard plastic buttons on this thing? But I did like the offset analog sticks, but it was just too bulky, too big. It felt like they copied off of the N64 controller and changed it around a little bit. So this would be, if I may think of 5, I'll try to follow you, but this would be my 5th, this controller right here. I didn't have no order, so this is one of mine. A terrible controller. All right, who next?
I go back with my number 4.
4? Okay.
Okay. So this is a placeholder. I'm naming this controller, even though it was a concept controller, and it never actually was created. It never actually was published.
Hold up. Keith, since you said one of K-Bun's controllers was on your list, where was the OG Nintendo controller at on your list?
Number 4.
Number 4. Okay. Hello?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, K-Bun.
You said go ahead? Okay.
Yeah.
So this one never made. I want you to look this one up, Level.
Okay.
I want you to look this one up. This is my placeholder number 4. I got a real number 4. This is my place. This is honorable mention. I'll say this is honorable mention because it never actually was created. But the PlayStation 3. No. The PlayStation 3 boomerang controller. Lord have mercy. Oh my Lord Jesus, that was the worst controller I've ever seen in my. It would probably be number 1 if it was ever created. But since it never actually made it, it was only concept. But just looking at that controller, that is one of the worst looking controllers that man has ever thought of creating.
It looked like they thought. I got it up. They looked like they was thinking about Gran Turismo at the time. Like, oh, we gonna launch that Gran Turismo. We're gonna act as a steering wheel for it.
Bro, that boomerang was hit. Like, what?
Was terrible.
Who? I know y'all seeing it on the screen right now. Lord Jesus.
Step into the future.
Bro.
This wasn't so that's your honorable mention, right?
That's my honorable mention. I had it as number 4 because the controller I'm talking about is actually a PlayStation controller. So I had it as my number 4, but it was just a placeholder that I was holding. Oh, the cheapest controller I've ever had cheapest feeling controller I've ever had from a first party publisher was this controller at number 4. And that was the 6-axis. The 6-axis controller, they removed rumble. Remember when they rumbled this last gen? They removed rumble. So this controller had the gyroscope, but it was light. It felt so light, and it felt cheap, bro.
This is one of my controllers.
It is one of the cheapest controllers I've ever held in my hand. That thing felt like if you dropped it on carpet, it would break. It just felt so
it was uncomfortable.
Cheap. It was uncomfortable.
Yeah, I hated this controller.
And I'm sorry. I like the way Sony's controllers feel. I like the dual analogs, but it was just something about the controller that felt cheap.
It was light. I hated it, bro. And look at it. If the plastic was light, it's cramped. Like, look at it. It looks.
I hated it.
Like it was not made for American market. It looked like it was made for Japanese or Asian market because the controller just was not. What'd you say, Nia? What was the word you used? Ergonomical. Ergonomical. For your hands. If the Xbox controller was way too freaking big, this controller was way too compact and small and wanted you to do. I hated playing Tekken on this controller. Hated it.
It was bad, bro. So it was worst controller Sony has ever created in my book.
This was one of my controllers. I didn't have a list, a certain order. So this was definitely one of my controllers.
I immediately replaced them with DualShock 3s when they came out. Immediately replaced all my controllers with
So,
DualShock 3s.
so this
Go
one
ahead.
came out after the concept of that boomerang.
Yeah,
No, yep.
This was
This
the
was
one that
PS3.
launched. This was a launch
Yeah.
with the PlayStation 3. Go
Yep.
ahead, Keith. What's your I guess 4?
I already told you my number 4. I guess you want me to go number 3?
Go to 3 because you said the NES. So Keith's 4 was the NES controller, which K-Bum already named. This was the one that he pulled up now was definitely one of my controllers. So that'll be my 4. So Keith, go ahead to 3.
Genesis. I don't like that controller.
Oh,
The Genesis.
that's one of mine
Let
too.
me look at that because I hadn't seen that controller in so long. I get it. It's
No,
like
I love
they try to correct the ergonomics of the NES, but they still didn't give us enough buttons. Yeah, 3 buttons, and then you play
3
something like
buttons.
Sonic. You play Sonic, they all do the same thing. So you really is a 1-button game.
That's true.
Yeah, I didn't like it because going from like Super NES to trying to play a Sega Genesis game, you had to learn combinations. Like, no, I'm good.
True.
I'm good.
Yeah.
That was a horrible.
ABC.
That was
I
it.
hated this controller. And so you got something to say to this, K-Bum? Because I want to pick up where Keith just said. I hated this controller because I remember, again, being a Nintendo guy, we back in them days, it wasn't no having every console that came out. You had one until the new one, until that one had a new one come out. So my dad landed us on Nintendo, so we only got new Nintendo systems. So when the Sega came out, my cousin ended up getting it. I remember them having Street Fighters on it. And I'm all gung ho to get down there to see because I've been seeing the commercials with Holyfield Boxing and Sonic, and they had Sonic and they had Eternal Fighters and all that stuff. So I was excited, and I was like, man, let me see Street Fighters. So I'm in here and I'm playing Street Fighters and I'm trying to do all the moves, and then you got to push pause to go and basically change the button layout to get to your other kicks. So, so if you wanted to do the lower kicks, you had to push pause. It was crazy. It was like, what is this?
Wow.
Why y'all just didn't put enough buttons on the controller? Why would you give us a controller that can't play the games? So this is definitely one of my controllers. Now, eventually they came out with this right here to address. I think it was this controller to address they fumble. They added more buttons onto the controller. I don't think this is the original one, but so they did fix it. But yeah, I had to agree, Keith, that what you put up was definitely a terrible controller. K-Bone, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, the lack of buttons was a problem. It was definitely a problem. But yeah, I wasn't my favorite controller. I give you that.
All right, so
Didn't make my list, but it's not my favorite. Not my favorite controller.
so who going next? So that's 3 for Keith. What's your third one, K-Bone?
My third one. I know we talked about it, but I have to say my piece about it. It is Mr. Duke. Is my number 3.
Oh,
Sir Duke.
Okay,
Xbox.
so the Xbox.
Because I'm sorry, I've never had a controller that buttons were literally unreachable in gameplay. Just
Yeah,
that
that's true.
the white and the black button, like just unreachable. Just why did you put it all the way up there? And why were there different material? It was like a pearl or something like that. If you wasn't used to the Duke, you go from the little baby PlayStation controller to the Duke. Whew, Lord, I think they wanted something. So if for Christmas, if kids get in the fight, they wanted to, whoever had the controller had the power, right? You couldn't.
Look at that D-pad. Look at the D-pad.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, this was a terrible controller. It
That
ain't
was-
even the buttons ain't even placed in good places, man.
Oh my God, the white and black button.
The white and black
Why?
buttons, bro.
Why?
Why? And I wouldn't say never. No, there's one controller that made me constantly look down at my hands. But this was second, as I had to constantly look down at my hand on what button am I actually pressing, because unreachable. Like just to have that big old Xbox logo, like we didn't have to do all that. We know we're playing
You gotta,
Xbox.
I was gonna say you gotta know what you playing.
This controller just it looks like a George Foreman grill, man. This thing looks horrible. So it just
That thing
looks
didn't glow in the middle.
it's big for no reason, man.
For no reason.
So
And
okay,
then
so
the offset analog took a while to get used to as well, especially
yeah.
coming from PlayStation. It took a while to get used to that offset analog.
Yeah, that and even the trigger buttons. It was all just this controller didn't make any sense.
It was a lot going on, man.
Yeah, like
was a
right
lot.
here, I'm pointing like y'all can see my hand, but the bottom part where the back and the start, that whole oval curve, like why is that even there? You can't even get your hands in there. But yeah, that's a terrible controller. But we already looked. So that's your
If
three.
you have small hands, like Nia, did you use a controller? Because I don't think you could have actually used this controller with your small lady hands. Because this was made for Shaq.
He would have had to put this controller in her lap. And press the button like
Put it down like a PC.
Yes. Had to play that mother like a keyboard.
All right,
Man.
All right, so we to two, and I'm gonna shock some people because of where I'm going, and I'm gonna explain myself because I'm gonna sound contradictory in a second, but so I'm gonna go before you, Keith. So I'm just gonna let y'all see what my second one is. Like I said, I had no order. I'm just gonna let y'all see it, man. And I'm gonna have to explain myself because I know people gonna be like, "Wait a minute, didn't you say?" Yeah, I did, but I can look back and and just see. So my second one is the gamepad, the Wii U gamepad.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to be honest. Okay.
Top 5, nah.
No, I'm gonna tell you
I gotta
why.
hear this. I gotta hear
I'm
this.
gonna explain myself, okay?
I gotta hear this.
So there's
Explain
several
yourself first.
reasons, because I used to say, don't touch my gamepad, remember? And I still feel that way, but this controller felt cheap as heck. I used to hate getting all this, trying to clean it and the smudges. It was not comfortable to hold. It was not. It was not comfortable to hold. Trying to play Mario U on new Super Mario U with this controller, I was like, yeah, I can't do it. That's why I had the Pro controller, and I would always just play on that because this controller just wasn't really. It wasn't comfortable to play and look at the hand. If you playing on it, yeah, maybe, but playing on the big screen trying to hold this controller, it just didn't really. It was too big and it wasn't comfortable. And just like you said, K-Bump, sometimes it was hard to reach buttons, especially where they had the right analog stick placed. It just made it hard because it just went against what was normal in gaming. I don't know. And my main reason is Nintendo never used it the way they were supposed to. It was a waste of a controller with what their ideas and concepts for it was. We never got that. It turned out just to be a menu screen or you literally Donkey Kong, you played it on both screens. It was like both screens run at the same time. It really didn't even take advantage of what they were trying to do. So as much as I
Nia, he didn't play Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Okay, but as much as I love, let me say this though, as much as I love this controller, I have to say it's one of the far as functional, far as shaped controllers. If the N64 controller was uncomfortable, the way this was a bigger box controller, and it was plasticky, it was cheap. And for everything that K-Bone was saying about the PlayStation controller and the NES controller, I have to admit, as much as I love this controller, I also have to admit it was a terrible controller. So, yeah, I just said it. I didn't want. I was like, "Am I gonna do it?" I got to be honest. It was a terrible controller. The analog sticks going to digital pads. It was digital pads. It just felt terrible. They was on the back. It wasn't no trigger. It was just it was terrible. It was terrible.
I'm gonna give a little pushback. I got to.
Go ahead.
I'm not really disagreeing with you. It was plastic. Why did they choose that as the touch panel? Like it wasn't even like a two point touch panel. It was like you could only touch in one spot, and it was kind of hazy. But I liked it. I kind of liked it. I kind of liked it.
I gotta be honest. I had to be honest, man.
I wasn't mad at the analog placements. Matter of fact,
Especially
on the
this
Pro
one.
controller, that analog placement is incredible. I wish they wouldn't have went back.
This one, the white one was ugly, boy. That was ugly.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what I don't remember having that TV control. Or did I? Was it? Yeah, I guess so. But I will say this. I like to take one hand off the controller sometimes. Taking one hand off the gamepad, you just got to put it down.
Yeah,
You just got to set
It was
it.
impossible.
You just gotta sit it
It
down.
was impossible.
That's funny.
You got to set it down. You can't. Nah. But oddly enough, I liked it though. I don't know. It's weird.
Nia, my point is, like I said, I don't hate the controller. The question is the top 5 worst controllers. I don't hate it. I don't hate the N64 controller, but I understand why people say it was a terrible controller. But I found ways to love it. I did like the gamepad for what it was trying to be, but when you just look at it in its creation, in its functionality, in its feel in your hands, the cheapness of the shoulder buttons and the buttons under the bottom, it just felt this is not how a real gamer would not want this. It didn't feel right. But even the analog sticks was kind of like, man, this is it. But you got this big screen. That's dope. I could go and but it wasn't a good controller for real. I was fighting because I wanted the Wii U to be something because I bought it. And I did like the Wii U controller, but for all the wrong reasons. I liked it for all the wrong reasons. I never actually played with it. When I played Bayonetta, I did not use that controller. I used the Pro controller. When I played, only games I played with this was Wii U, Zombie U. I never used this controller to play Mario U. I never used this controller to play Smash Bros. I never used this controller to play any other games I played on the system. If you ever watched my videos back then, this was only a screen, and I played with the controller in my hand. So I never really used this outside of Nintendo Land, Zombie U, and Pikmin. I used it for Pikmin.
Hey,
But any game that didn't
absolutely.
really function, didn't use it, it was sitting up on the thing. I surfed the internet with it. I did that and got on what was it, Miiverse? I did that type of stuff, but actually playing games with it, never played games with it. That's why I said I got to put it up here because I didn't really play games with it.
You know, I don't think I really did either. I think I had it sitting on my coffee table with the little cradle, and I was playing with the Pro controller when I played Xenoblade Chronicles.
Right.
I was playing with a Wii remote when I played Pikmin 3.
That's funny.
I think I did play Wind Waker with it. Maybe Wind Waker.
I played Wind Waker with it, and I
This is
wish.
blasphemy.
Huh?
Blasphemy from the Nintendo guys. All this fighting there with the game with the Wii U, and these
I had
boys
to
were
be
not
honest,
using
man.
that Game Pass.
I
That
wasn't
is
using it.
hilarious, bro.
I wasn't, and I was mad when they didn't give us an option in Star Fox where you could just use your regular controller and didn't need the on-screen functions.
I really want to play that game.
That would have made me. That would have made that game good if they would took the gamepad functions out of it and just gave you a Star Fox game. That game actually would have been really good. So yes, I had to put it up there, y'all. I had to be honest. So that's 2 for me. I may anyway. I don't know. Anyway, y'all gonna. I'm contemplating if I'm going to go this direction, but I want to see where K-Bun them go. So, Keith, what's your 2?
We're gonna stay with Nintendo.
Ooh.
Okay. It's got to be.
This is number 2, guys.
Game,
Y'all know where I'm going. Y'all know where I'm going.
Cube.
Uh-oh.
The claw, that Bowser claw.
Oh,
The Bowser
Nelly.
claw is on the list.
Oh my goodness.
Which one?
The N64 controller.
Yup.
That controller gave me fits. That controller, like, I didn't even hold it like they told. I'd never put my hand under. I just kind of grabbed the controller like a big watermelon and just played it like the D-pad is up here. This is where my hand gonna be, and I'm just gonna stretch all the way down here to move the analog stick. That's how I played it. I never put my hand under there because it really didn't fit.
I did.
I never put and it was too close. Made your arms too close. I was like, I cannot play games like this. I try.
You didn't play Mario like that, where you had your hand on the analog and just turned it to the side. I just turned it to the side.
See what I'm saying?
It's literally 2 controllers in one. Is when you want to play the analog, you turn it to the side and you play with them 2 handles. When you want to play a fighting game, which wasn't that many on the N64, you held it with like a traditional controller. That's how I did it.
This controller is like an X-wing.
It does. It does.
No, I put my hand over the D-pad and I just stretched my thumb to the analog stick and played it like a traditional controller. I did not like this controller.
That's funny.
And I used my right middle finger to do the Z trigger or whatever, or my left. I don't know, whichever one reach. Because Zelda used a lot of that Z targeting. So I never put my hand under there. I never did it.
So this is your 2. This 2.
That's
2.
Okay, I think I gave my 2 already. So K-Bun, what's your 2?
Okay, so my 2 is not a controller that I personally played with. It's a controller that I've seen, and it is probably one of the ugliest controllers that has ever existed.
I'm curious where you going with this.
Most people have no idea this even exists.
Oh, okay. Oof.
No, it's not that. It is in level. You got to look this up so people can see it. It is the Sega Saturn 3D control pad. I want you to look at this monstrosity. It is the Sega Saturn 3D control pad. Just look at it. It is. It looks like it could be the predecessor to the Duke.
Ooh, yeah, it does. This is you absolutely
belong in Star Trek.
Like a CD player.
This
like
thing,
a CD player, like an old school Walkman, CD Walkman or something.
Like I said, I never used it. I played Sega Saturn, but I played it with the other the 16 controllers, but not with this controller. But this controller is
That like Jigglypuff.
I have to rank that up there. I'm sorry that is it is. It's not too much I can say. Like I said, it wasn't like I spent my childhood playing this, but that controller made you not want to get a Sega Saturn. Like just everything about Sega Saturn at that point in time was just so bad, bro. And this controller was one of them. Like there's no good selling points here. So that's my number 2.
If you look at the bottom of it, like if you get a view of the backside, it looks like a Star Trek. The Enterprise?
Yeah,
Star Trek Enterprise.
It looks like an Enterprise on the bottom.
It looked like a waffle maker. Like a waffle maker, like you push that
It
button and it
does like
pop
a
open, you take your waffle out.
it does like a waffle maker. That is
Like
100% true.
it's done. It turn like that. That thing switch over when it's done. It's
Hey,
finished.
you got to get more angles of this. That analog stick is that's not even an analog
Let me
stick.
see if I can find another angle of it.
What is that?
Is I bro? I told you it's bad. It is bad. That is a bad controller. Bad design. Just it makes you understand why Sega went bankrupt. It
Man,
just tells
y'all
you
just y'all just out here trying something, huh? We're just gonna throw
just
spaghetti
trying
at the
things,
wall.
brother. Just trying things. It is a bad controller, man. Just
You made me want to change my number one just to see how crazy I can, what the crazy controller I can find.
I was trying to
oh
find.
man.
Hold up, I'm trying to find something on it. But go ahead. Here, yeah, here it is. You get better angles from here.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
smaller
That
than you
that.
think, though. It's not that big. It looked big in that picture, but it's actually really small.
But
Now you
it's
see it in
hideous.
somebody's hands. Yeah, it is hideous. That much is
It
for
is
sure.
hideous.
So, well, I
But
mean,
that's it.
but it
That's
may
it
be
for me though.
functional though. It doesn't. Now that you see it,
Oh,
actually,
it may be functional. Absolutely.
it's
But
not
that doesn't
ergonomic.
that
Oh,
doesn't take the taste out of my mouth.
they put the Dreamcast controller next to it, and it's reminiscent.
Dreamcast
It's
was before
very
its time.
reminiscent. I like the Dreamcast
With
controller.
that little screen on the little, I love that little screen on the Dreamcast controller. That was so cool. That was so cool. That
Okay,
was cool.
so all right, so we down to number one, right? All right, so who going first? I'm going last on this because I think mine's gonna be controversial, but I'm
I
gonna
can go
need.
first. I
Okay,
can go
go ahead.
first. Because my first has already been mentioned, and that's the Duke. I didn't really say much about it, but yeah, white black buttons. That was dumb. Uh,
We're going back to the
this
Duke.
the size of it. It's like the middle part exploded, and it's like the rest of the buttons just kind of set out there. But
He said it exploded, bro.
it exploded
I
in
ain't
the
never
middle,
heard
and
that.
the starting select buttons got pushed to the bottom. It was just a dumb design. But I will say, in that within that generation, they made up for it and re-released the controller. And Microsoft has probably made two of the best controllers I've ever played with. So, but
Okay,
the Duke is on the list.
so the Duke. Let me pull it back up. The Duke made it back. So this is number one. Everybody got the Duke on the list. Everybody got. So I thought you was
It's
gonna put the
bad.
GameCube controller on there.
Excuse
I
me,
thought.
sir.
Okay.
Excuse me. You cussing at
All
me
right.
on the podcast? What's going on?
So Duke for you, K-Bone, what's your number one?
So,
I'm
with
going.
this
I'm going
controller,
mute.
yeah, go mute, brother, because I have never used a controller and had to look at my hands to see what my hands was touching so much, except with this controller. And that is the most the creature that
He
came
finna
that
say
came that
GameCube.
they tried to combine one controller with another controller. They created this monstrosity, which is the GameCube controller.
I
I'm
knew it was gonna
sorry.
GameCube.
I am sorry. But you give me two different size analogs. The two analogs are two different sizes. One was skinnier than another. Like, and then every button is a different size. Every button different size. I'm sorry. If you did not play the GameCube controller on a daily basis, this was an alien. You go from the PS with three at that time, right? The PS2. You go from the PS2 controller, which is everything is the same, and then you go to this creature where every single button is different than the other button, and one of them makes like a an oval shape around this big button, Like I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, which one did I just hit? Okay, that was the blue button. Okay, so what are these two white ones? Why is this one red? What's why is the D-pad that what is this? I'm sorry. That is by far the worst controller I have ever used. It like I said, if you played it on a daily basis, probably doesn't seem that bad to you. You got used to it. You got used to that humongous. I think that was the B button. Yeah, humongous B button in the middle. You
That was
knew
the A
where to
button. It
find
was the A
A
button.
button. Okay, the A button. You knew where to find the little red B button that was hiding to the left of the A button.
What about the
But
Z
if you go
trigger?
from
What about the Z trigger?
I'm not even talking about the Z trigger because I couldn't find that either. I just
It's at the top right. It's the
I
top right.
I don't know why they did this. It's Nintendo being Nintendo. I understand it, but you made anyone that wasn't in the ecosystem of Nintendo
Not
hate a
want to get
controller,
in. Not want to get
not
in
want
it.
to play it, not want to get into it. Because I mean, this is rocket science. You're talking about muscle memory. There is no muscle memory when trying to play the same game from a PlayStation or even an
Hold
Xbox to
up,
this.
K-Bub.
This
Hold up.
was
Hold up. Nia, you said it. It's only good for what?
But we got smack. But we got
Smash
smack.
Bros.
But we got Smash Bros. Though.
Go ahead, K-Bub.
But now for Nintendo games, it worked well for
Yeah,
Nintendo
it
games.
did.
It did. It worked really well for Nintendo games. I will not deny that, brother. But it just didn't feel right.
Yeah,
It's
it
so
felt.
unique. It's so different. To me, I know they were trying to be Nintendo and be unique, but this was just too
I
much for me.
okay. So I would say this. I did not have a. I had a problem with this controller when it came to fighting games and stuff like that. But when you was playing a game that was made for Nintendo, this controller was
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
Resident Evil 4 was dope on this controller. I love playing Def Jam Vendetta and Def Jam Fight for New York on this controller. I loved what was it? F Zero. I think it was GT or GX, one of the two, on this controller. I mean, I didn't have a problem. I didn't like. Now everybody loved Link, but I didn't love this controller with playing Soul Calibur. This controller sucked when it came to those games. But Zelda, Wind Waker, and Mario, what was it? Mario, what was that Mario? Sunshine, all that was perfect. All it was perfect. But if it was any third party that wasn't made for Nintendo, like a Metroid, like Resident Evil 4, I'm with you.
Mhm.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So yours was the GameCube.
Every
Okay.
button's so different.
So
Sorry.
since you did an honorable mention,
Wait.
I got to. I would say
No.
my honorable.
Defend it. No,
Let me
no,
do
go
my
ahead. Keep
honorable.
defending your
I
piece of
can't.
crap.
Go ahead.
Defend it. Defend it.
Everybody enter into the room. This controller had a few flaws. I will admit that.
Yes,
The D-pad, yes,
was
just a
trash.
few, just a few. The D-pad was tiny. The D-pad was a Game Boy pad. It's, like they literally took it off the Game Boy Advance and put it on the GameCube controller. It only had one Z trigger. It should have had two,
Yes.
like everybody
Agree
else.
with you. Yes.
Other than that, I think this controller was flawless. I find it
It felt
weird,
good in
and
your
and
hands. It felt
it
good.
felt amazing in my hands. Oh, yes. Playing Street Fighter on this controller, garbage.
Trash.
It's impossible. You can't play. As a
Any
matter of
fighting
fact,
game, any fighting game that was trash.
I enjoy
Soul
Soul Calibur
Calibur,
on the.
no,
I
you
enjoyed
could.
it.
No,
I
no.
enjoyed
Not
it.
after playing it on the.
I still remember how to play it just looking at that controller.
After playing it on the Dreamcast, you gotta understand. I played on the Dreamcast. Going to this, it was terrible, terrible.
The
That's
C
that's
the
on
C nipple was trash. What's
No,
the C nipple?
I love this.
What is that?
I
Them
love
analog?
This the C stick.
it's a stick, man. It's a stick.
Pause.
It's
Wait,
an analog
Pause,
stick.
y'all. Pause. Do we say pause? No,
Wait.
we not doing no pause.
Wait,
It
what
was
we
a
are we
C-stick.
talking about? The yellow guy?
Yes.
Yeah, the yellow guy. You said the C
remember
nipple?
the C buttons? The C buttons on the N64? They just turned it into that.
Yeah.
Still same color.
Oh wow.
And it really functioned as a second analog. That's really what it functioned.
That's all it is.
It was a camera. It was for controlling the camera.
But this
is a family podcast, so I'm not going to respond to you, Nia. But I'm going to say
said the yellow nipple. Lisa said the yellow nipple.
I was reading her comment, bro.
Oh, you was reading her comment. Okay, I thought
I was reading her comment. No, I didn't make that. I didn't know what she was talking about. I didn't know. It was. I didn't know what that controller was. I told you I was saying the B button was the A button. I don't remember.
Got you. You are in the minority. You are in the minority.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with the gamepad controller. I don't think it was as bad as people want to make it, but it wasn't. What did he say? How you say it again? Ergonomical for certain type of games. So okay,
if you used it if you were not coming from a different console, yeah, I can see you say that. But coming from a different console, and that's a secondary console you playing because a friend has it. Oh my God! I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, I'm trying to. I'm scared. I'm gonna go out on a limb. This is an honorable mention. Since we didn't bring it up, I'm gonna use this, and this is my honorable mention, and I gotta explain why, because I know people are gonna be like, "Leveled, are you the blasphemy here?" So this is my honorable.
I think I know what it is.
The Wii controller.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Is my honorable mention. Now, y'all,
it changed gaming.
I know it. I said honorable mention. It ain't top 5 where it's not. It should not be in top 5, but it is honorable mention. This controller served no purpose outside of Nintendo games and Waggle and stuff like that. You couldn't play no fighting games on it. You couldn't do nothing on this controller that wasn't catered to Nintendo and how they was using it. And I hated this controller. Outside of Wii Sports, I felt dumb every time I pulled it out. I felt like Nintendo, why are you making me do this? And I never bought the Pro controller because, if I'm not mistaken, the Pro controller didn't have analog sticks.
It did.
It did.
It was like a Super NES controller.
Yes, that's why I didn't buy it. Yes, so I never bought it. There you go. That's why I didn't buy it. I'm gonna pull it up though. So yes, the Wii U controller, this one right here, and not this why I didn't buy this either, because I was like, I'm not gonna play this thing. It just didn't even look comfortable. It looked like, Nintendo, why are you doing this to me, man? Why are you making me pull this out amongst my friends? So this was a terrible. To me, this was a hard time for me as a Nintendo fan. But it's only honorable mention because my main controller that I hate, because it was just stupid, and it is this, and they always taking L's. Let me do it. I hate to do this, but I gotta do it. Let me pull it up. Drum roll, please. The Xbox Connect.
Oh, come on.
What?
Come on.
What?
The Xbox Connect was a terrible controller. It was trash. It didn't work right. It was stupid. They tried to do it again, and it failed. It was, to me, the worst controller because it wasn't a controller. There you go. That's my worst controller.
This dude.
Is that
this
fair?
dude did not say the Xbox Connect.
The Xbox Connect. Is that fair? Am I fair to say the Xbox Connect?
No, you ain't fair.
You did control games with it.
Boo.
You did.
It is a controller. It's a controller. and it was terrible. Tomato. Why you throwing tomatoes at me? Are you talking about the Wii U? Are you talking about the Wii? She may be behind me. She may be talking about the Wii controller because they're a little behind us. So, Neil, are you talking about Connect? Or are you talking about the Wii? Which one you talking about? I got it. I don't know which one you talking about. The level is what'd she say?
I'm so unserious.
Level is so unserious. I know I'm serious about the Wii. It's an honorable mention. If she talking about the Wii, I don't know which one she talking about. So let me know which one you talking about. Are you talking about the Connect? Are you talking about? Yes, I am serious. I am serious. As I sat here and I thought about it, I was like, you know what? The worst controller ever is the Connect controller because it wasn't a controller at all. If I'm going to mention the Wii and motion control, I gotta bring up the Connect. So that was the worst controller because it wasn't a controller.
Well, I never gave an honorable mention. I want to give an honorable mention.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, sir. Give your honorable.
Nia is totally disappointed with me. She's like, the audacity of this dude to put the Connect up here. Keith said spell it right. Go ahead, Keith. What's your honorable mention?
Man, I'm BSing right now. The Virtual Boy. I just want you to put it on the screen.
Nintendo Virtual Boy.
No,
Okay.
I need you. If you want to, I'll let you go ahead and talk. I'm sorry, cut you off.
I only played the Virtual Boy like once or twice, and I don't even know if I really had a problem with it. But this controller looks stupid now. Like, why you got two D-pads? You got a start and select, the A and B button like the NES. Oh, you got triggers. Wow.
It looked like one of them things. It looked like them things that be floating in Jedi Survivor and Jedi the little robots you got to knock out the sky. That's what it looked like.
Yeah. The little transmitter. They be talking.
Dang, this controller looks terrible. Why I got two D-pads on it?
Because one is not
Exactly.
enough.
Why is that? Can I blow this up? Hold up. Yeah,
Man, y'all got to get off the GameCube controller, man.
The GameCube controller, I didn't have a problem with the GameCube controller. Like I said, I mean,
This is all just to avoid the real answer, the GameCube controller.
And honestly, if you're gonna put it on the list, that's fine. It's not number one.
Number one.
It is not number one. You can't even play with the Duke. And I'm talking about you, Nia. You can't even play with the Duke.
If you want to pull up an honorable mention, I never had enough money to play with it enough to play that controller myself. But what about the Power Glove?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. See. Now you thinking like me. Now, Power Glove. Okay. Never
That's a
used
controller.
it.
I never used it. Didn't have enough
Thought
money
it would
to
look cool, but
afford it.
as a functional controller, it was stupid. Only time I seen it used successfully was in the movie The Wiz, right? The Wizard, right?
And that was movie magic.
Yeah. K-Ball, this one Nintendo was at the top. This one Nintendo was wasn't nobody competing with Nintendo at this time. Look at this thing.
They were doing whatever they wanted to do.
Look like they cut off RoboCop arm and threw some D-pads and some buttons on it.
What game was that for?
Nothing. What you use this thing for? How you gonna play it? Only thing you can do is like with the Predator, and when he's trying to blow up, because you can't play with one hand. What you gonna do?
That's exactly what that looks like.
All he doing is, hey, okay, I'm losing. Go ahead and blow this whole planet up.
That's like the 100% opposite of what Microsoft tries to do today. That's only regular people.
Look at all these buttons on this thing, man. All these buttons on here that you can't really do anything with one hand. How you gonna? You can't even. Man, this was But yeah, I think
It was
I think I hit it out the park with.
Oh, so you said that's what inspired Thanos' gloves. The power glove. The
I think I
Infinity
knocked it out
Gauntlet.
the park. So y'all seriously think the Kinect wasn't a terrible controller?
Man, I wouldn't put that in my list.
Y'all would the
I didn't even
Kinect,
consider. I didn't even consider it.
right? Because it wasn't a controller, but it was there to control games. You ever watched anybody play with the Kinect? You ever watched the Kinect game?
I've seen them.
Trash.
Hey, stop moving in the background.
All right. So,
Oh man, that's funny.
okay. So we went a little longer. We've been off a long. We come back from Thanksgiving. So we hit up this last topic. What you gaming on for the holiday? And we can do that now. Or we can push it back to next week because we will come back. Thank you, Fanatic. Thank you, man. He said I was level. Thank you.
Dying to find somebody.
Yeah.
But we got
And we got Smash
Bros.
Bros. Thank you. Everybody else get
Yes,
a
sir.
slap yourself. Y'all hating on it. Take that slap you on down the road. But anyway, that was good. Connect was right on the money. Anyway, I got hit with tomatoes and onions and everything else up in this thing by Nia. So, do y'all want to do that now? Real quick?
When's the Video Game Awards? Is that next week?
Yeah. Just want to save it to next week?
Mm-hmm.
I know we'll be talking about the Video Game Award. That, do we want to live stream that?
Yeah, we'll
I know
live
we've done
stream
that
that.
in the past.
Is it on Thursday?
Should be.
Then yeah, we'll live stream that then. Yeah, it'll definitely be live stream. So go ahead if y'all want to do it.
We can save it. No, we can save it, man.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it's
we're gonna
late.
save
It's already
that
late.
last topic. We went about 2 hours tonight. Two good topics. Game Pass. Anytime we talk about Microsoft, it's gonna go long because there's so much to talk about.
They better
there.
show up. They better show up at the. They better
So
show up and
grade
show
us, y'all.
something.
Grade us on our top 5 worst controllers. Who had the best list? K-Bum had, if I remember right, the original NES controller.
Yep.
The second controller was the PlayStation six axis. His third controller was
A Duke.
the Duke, Xbox OG. All these OG controllers, all these original controllers on K-Bum list. Like y'all all fumbled out the gate. His second controller was what?
The Sega Saturn 3D pad.
Sega Saturn 3D pad, which nobody really knew. And his first one was the GameCube, which me and Keith don't agree with. Keith's first controller was the
OG PlayStation.
OG PlayStation. Second controller was the NES.
Mm-hmm.
Your third controller was the
Genesis.
Genesis. Your second controller was it wasn't the GameCube. Yeah, N64. And then your first one was the Balls. Was the General. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So my first one was what was my first one? Dang it, what was my first one? Oh,
You didn't have an
General.
order.
Yeah, I didn't have an order, but my first one that I pulled out was the Genesis, the General, the Xbox OG, the General. My second controller was the OG PlayStation, because then my third was the I think the Game Pad, and then my second was
But you gave a second.
I didn't. Did I get it? I did give a second. What was my second?
Thought you agree with K-Bone with the GameCube.
No, I didn't agree with K-Bone with the GameCube.
We nuts.
I agree with. I
the
think
Wii.
it was the N64.
Wii. No. You said the Wii.
No, the Wii was my honorable mention. The N64
Okay.
was my second, and then my first was Kinect. By far the worst. Kinect was worse.
It doesn't matter. Nia says K-Ball wins.
Nia.
Slap your
K-Ball didn't win. No, we're not giving K-Ball the win here. Keith, you won. You won, Keith.
Don't be.
Yeah,
ahead of your
I
life,
won.
bro.
Thank
Keith
you.
won.
It
Go
only
ahead.
makes
Do you got any final words, Keith?
The
Go
fans,
ahead.
the fans have
Go
spoken.
ahead.
I think
The,
if you put my list against
the
the
audience
world,
has spoken.
I think if you put this list against the world, I think I'll have a better response because
Yes.
somebody had the audacity to put the GameCube controller on their list, which is crazy. I don't know who
Because that's
would
the
do such a
only
thing.
reason Nia giving him the win is because of the GameCube controller. She is not being,
I love you. I love
she's not
how
being
y'all trying to break.
objective.
Y'all trying to
Nia, you're
overanalyze
not being
K-Bomb winning.
objective
Don't
here.
overanalyze, brother. Overanalyze it. Just take it, bro. Take
You're
the
not
L.
being objective here. Where's your
Take
objectivity?
the L. Put it in your lap. It's
Oh,
okay.
man.
It's okay.
All right, K-Bum. She say you won. Who else say K-Bum won? So I see who get the final word. Go ahead, K-Bum. Since you won, what's your final words, man?
Trash controllers are trash. I mean, I don't know what it say.
I'm shocked you put the PlayStation. You put 2 PlayStation controllers on there. 3, I think. You
No.
put the-
I ain't.
Then you
No,
put
just
the
the
sixpence and
Texas.
the boomerang as your honorable.
Yeah, the
mention.
boomerang. Oh Lord, Jesus.
Yeah. I think I won because I believe the Kinect is the worst controller ever. I think I won.
The
I feel
Duke,
like
the
my-
Duke is clearly the worst controller ever. No,
Yeah.
nobody,
Either that
no
or
human other than Shaq.
It's definitely
And
worse than the GameCube.
I
controller.
would rather play the Duke every day of the week than to play that
K-Bum
GameCube
is
controller.
lying.
You
K-Bum,
would not get any game
stop.
complete.
I would play the Duke non-stop before I touch that
He
GameCube
trolling us,
controller.
Keith. He's
You
trolling
couldn't even
us, man.
he couldn't even get a game
This
completed.
this is
He's
not a
He's
troll.
trolling me. K-Bum,
There is
you wouldn't
no
even get
muscle
through one.
memory.
K-Bum, the buttons on the Duke are so hard. You would break all your nails before you get
I
through
will
any
break
other
every
game.
nail before I spend my entire day looking at my hand trying to find which oval button I'm pressing.
The
But that was
tip
the
of your
genius behind
the
it. You
tip of
didn't
your
have to look
fingers.
at your hand.
The tip of your fingers will end your gaming for before the week is out. You'll be done with that controller. That
Your
ain't
thumb.
the game. The game.
I would rather have hand cramps with the Duke.
Your
game
thumb
be
rests
like-
on the A button.
To be pressing that huge A button every single time I'm trying to press something else.
Because
The
you
thumb
don't
rests on the
press
A
it.
button.
See, this is the
You
thing.
just
This
you
is the
just
thing.
slide up and
That's
slide
right.
over.
It's not a press. You keep your thumb.
Muscle
You keep your thumb
memory.
on. Well, you need the muscle. Remember. Anyway, keep your. I couldn't get it out. Keep your thumb. Let me get my second. I couldn't get it out. So you keep your thumb on the A button, and you
Let's destroy
and
that
you
word.
slide around. That's how you did it.
Mm-mm.
You didn't push button. You slid. It was so
Slide to your left.
ergonomical.
Slide to your
Where
right.
where do you think they got it from?
Crisscross. Everybody clap your joystick.
And it had
Get outta
triggers.
here,
You
man.
right. It get clacked. Yep. It's the game.
Get outta
It
here,
inspired
please.
that song.
Keith, please stop.
That's a
The
good
triggers
controller.
on the back were
I
amazing.
literally got 2 of them controllers right over there with my GameCube that I would never get rid of. I would never get rid of that system, even though I don't.
Do I have my Duke? I probably got my Duke somewhere around here. Where's my Duke at?
It's probably holding the table up somewhere.
No, keep this upstairs
That's a
cooking
good
one of them
one.
steaks. He got a steak in that
That's
mug.
a
He
good
opened it
one.
up and pushed it. He got that George from a grill running.
Where's my
real
Duke?
good. All right,
I
so
got my
that was the
original
show for
Xbox
tonight.
somewhere.
Hope y'all enjoyed it. We gave y'all 34 more minutes than we normally do. Unique conversation, top 5. So if y'all like that, you want more stuff like that, let us know. Make sure to share this and hit that thumb up button, and also hit that notification button so you can know when we posting and about to jump on. We'll be back next week. I believe the Game Awards is on that night, so we will be going live. We may even, y'all want to show our faces that night? What y'all want to do?
Yeah, I cut my hair.
Yeah, I get my haircut on Wednesday. Yeah, we can do that, cuz.
Okay, we'll be on here with the face and all on that night, so we can really vibe out with y'all on that night. So be
shout out
back
to
next
Nia.
week. DJ Fanatic said thumb up. Top 5 podcast, laugh out loud. I believe we one of the best on here. We got some of the best chemistry. I'll say that. Right up there with K-Bum listing that.
Them THQ games.
THQ, bro. Oh, I gotta, man, I gotta be an annual thing.
We
I gotta
put
go
you
back
in
to that list.
timeout. You in timeout. You giving K-Bum
I
too
gotta
much,
go back to that list,
too many
bro.
wins tonight. I ain't comfortable with all these
SpongeBob's
K-Bum
Greatest
wins.
Adventures.
Bro.
Bikini Bottoms.
Bro.
So anyway, so that was the show for tonight. I'm gonna let these dudes sign out.
First.
Go ahead.
Great show, very entertaining, very enlightening that I'm on a podcast with a man who put the GameCube controller. That's one of the worst controllers. But hey, you just gotta keep living and learn more and more things about people. That's weird. But hey, great show. Can't wait to come back.
Oh man, these dudes, wow, yo.
Next week, Game Awards. We're gonna see who's gonna get that Game Award trophy. I think politically, Baldur's Gate is gonna get it. My heart wants Zelda to get it, but I'm also slighted towards Alan Wake too. So, man, it's gonna be a great show next week.
Okay. Yeah, it was funny. I gotta give it to you. Go ahead, Mr. K-Bum, since you won. Everybody saying
No, man, it's K-Bond signing off. I didn't think this was going to be this funny, but this was hilarious, man. This is most fun I had. Wow, this was a good cast, and appreciate the comment section. Y'all went ham today, like 100%. Y'all went ham. I enjoyed it. Fun podcast, and excited to check out the Game Awards next week.
We got smashed, bro.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed the cast on tonight. Shouts out to Nia. Shout out to First Name Basis, a.k.a. DJ Fanatic, and all the others that were in here. Not everybody.
Man.
Cherry Man gaming up in this piece. Shouts out to you.
But we got smashed.
So, like I said, we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Well, it depends on when the Game Awards start. We'll start with it, and we'll be going live. So come and join us, spend some time with us, and see what Jeff Keighley got cooking. Hopefully we get to see some Switch 2. Maybe Microsoft will have some games that they might want to show us. We know we ain't going to be gaming on any of their games for the holidays. So anyway, let me stop. I can't do Keith right now. I'm not going to be like Keith. Microsoft, you doing okay. You all right with me, something. But anyway, we'll be back next week. Thank y'all for tuning in and jumping in with us. When we out this joint, peace.
But we got smashed, bro. But we got smashed, bro, though.